On Fiverr, when you get an order and they cancel, just how bad is that? And what can you do about it? I'm Dane Scott with Furby.
Hello, world.
And we'll talk about that next.
The Gig Doctor.
When a buyer places a Fiverr order, then they change their mind right away and cancel, the result can really bite down into our completion rate. And, especially if there haven't been a lot of orders lately, that can dramatically affect the percentage of orders completed for you. And personally, I think that allowing this degradation, regardless of how small the percentage is, whether it would turn out to be that one order canceled would be 20% of your orders or 1% of your orders, I still feel it's intolerable. And I'm pretty aggressive about assuring that cancellations like that don't count against me. I'm going to talk about a personal experience that I had just the other day, coming up here in just a moment. First, I want to just mention that at the end of today, I'm going to be giving the opportunity to get a $100 course that's called Fiverr Gold. It's worth $100. I'll give it to you for free. Details at the end of today's session. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. Absolutely. That helps me out a lot, and it also keeps you in the loop as I release new videos here. So here's a communication I sent to customer service just the other day, making my intention and sentiments plain about someone who had canceled an order right after they had placed it without giving a valid reason as to why they were canceling. So referencing the order number, when I wrote to customer service, I wrote the following. I'm going to read the whole thing. I have refused the cancellation based on the grounds of a false excuse being used for the cancellation, and I have added the following note to the correspondence, referring to my correspondence with that buyer, in the order, and then we quote it. This buyer has requested cancellation, giving as their reason that the seller can't deliver on time. Well, no such problem exists, and the buyer canceled immediately after placing the order, so I'm not sure what the reasoning was for that. What it amounts to is that the buyer changed their mind before any communication between us was ever even begun. It's purely a mistakenly placed order, and I don't feel it would be right to penalize me or affect my completion rate by my accepting the cancellation myself. I would appreciate it if, under the circumstances, you would cancel the order for me, because I have no wish to affect my completion rate due to something like this. Thanks, Dane. To which customer service replied as follows. Hi again, Dane. I completely understand what you mean. No worries. Allow me to assist you with this order. Checking your order, it was clear that the buyer requested cancellation before you were able to start your work. For this reason, I canceled your order without it affecting your order completion rate. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will be more than happy to help. So a very nice conclusion. And here is my thinking behind all of this. It's been my experience that when the cancellation is clearly not the result of my having dropped the ball somewhere, and I document and explain things plainly, and I have made some attempt to reconcile it first with the buyer, that's important, and without success, then customer service has been 100% in my favor and cooperative for canceling without prejudice. If things aren't documented well, or if I haven't at least made an overture to the buyer, they basically say, hey, cancel it yourself. So yes, definitely get with customer service. But first, get your notes together so you can clearly demonstrate that the situation is something that was completely out of your hands. One other circumstance that comes up. Sometimes a buyer will place an order that is clearly outside of what you offer in your gig. Some examples. The buyer placed an order for a voiceover with a word count that was specified as up to 100 words. And then in the order, they send you a script that's nearly 400 words long. You send them the extra that's required to cover the extra words, and then they refuse it twice. Well, time to contact customer service. Now, here's another one. Let's say the buyer sent you a job that involved pornography. While in your gig, you mentioned specifically that you will not do such work. In some cases, it's just a dirty word or two, and then in most cases, I've been able to just convince the buyer to let me just change those words. But if they refuse or the content is just way beyond redemption, I tell the buyer I will be unable to do the job and then I ask customer service to handle the cancellation for me. As you can see, there's merit in making it very clear in every way you can what your policies are right in your gig. The most crucial things to be mentioned in your gig description. Though I'm careful not to chew up too many characters with all of that legalese, so to speak, in my description, so I make it as brief as I can in there. But then you can also put stuff in your frequently asked questions, and you can also potentially express some of those things again in your order requirements, requiring them to agree yes, no to the terms as they're placing the order. So as you can tell, I place a lot of importance on preserving a high completion rate. That's because, as Fiverr will freely tell you, the completion rate can have a strong bearing on how well or how poorly your gigs show up in search results. And if we fail in search, we won't succeed very well at all on Fiverr. Speaking of succeeding on Fiverr, I've got a course that I'd like to give you. Fiverr Gold, 10 proven tips to help you succeed on Fiverr. The course is available on my website for $99. I'll give it to you. When you order one Gig Doctor session with me, also $99. So you spend $99, you get $99 free. So you come out pretty darn even on that thing. So in addition to everything we'll go over in a very customized way about your gig in the Gig Doctor session, I'll then, if you remind me, if you mention this that I gave you here in YouTube or in the podcast, I will give you the free Fiverr Gold course to go right along with it. But you have to make sure to mention it, because otherwise I won't know and you won't get it. It's as simple as that. So contact me right away. We'll give you the link there down in the description for the podcast of the YouTube video. And contact me and we'll get rolling on this. Guarantee it's going to help you on Fiverr. That's it for today. Thank you for this session. Be sure to watch in the little trailer at the end for links to a couple of other gig videos that I think you'll like. See you next time.
You give me a call.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.